Hello, I'm Sally, I'm from Plush Folly, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a range of cosmetics from home. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a herbal shampoo from scratch. The ingredients that you need are good old tap water. We're going to mix our tap water with our potassium hydroxide, which is a caustic ingredient, so I'm just tucking that to one side. I've also got sunflower oil and castor oil to make sure that we get big bubbles and a lovely hydrating shampoo. And then I'm going to be using coconut oil. First of all, I need to make up my lye solution, which is where I mix the potassium hydroxide and the water together. Now, as this is a caustic solution, if I'm not careful, it may splash me, so I'm going to wear these nitrile gloves. But general household rubber gloves would do just as well. And I'm going to protect my eyes by putting on my safety goggles. To make the lye solution, I'm just going to tip the potassium hydroxide into the water and give it a stir around to make sure that it's completely dissolved. Now, as this dissolves, it does let off some fumes and it gets hot, so better to do it in a ventilated room and don't stand over it breathing all the fumes in. Right, I can't feel any of the little gritty bits in there, so I believe that's fully dissolved, and you may be able to see some steam coming off. That's very quickly getting very hot. So I'm just going to tuck that to one side, out of the way. We'll get our coconut oil into the saucepan so we can have that melting while the lye is cooling. And I'm using 128 grams of coconut. This will give me roughly a litre of soap, liquid soap, which we're going to convert into shampoo. Pop that onto the heat and just get it melting. So my coconut oil is a nice soft oil, so that didn't take very long to melt. Now I'm going to add my two liquid oils. I didn't add them to the saucepan earlier because they're already liquid, and in fact they will help cool down the hot coconut oil in there. Make sure we get every residue of this thick castor oil that wants to cling to the side of the jug. The last residue of the sunflower oil. And now we're ready to add our lye. So back on with the goggles. My very first bit of lye that I pour in, I just pour a tiny bit in case there's any reaction. If the two ingredients are too hot, it will start fizzing in there, which isn't nice to deal with. There's no fizzing, so it's safe for me to add all of the potassium lye. And now I'm going to stir it. What I need to do is to get this to thicken up so I can almost stand a spoon in it. And that could take 2 or 3 hours of stirring. So I'm going to speed up the process a little by using my handheld blender. It'll probably still take me around about 20 minutes to get to the next stage, but let's start that process off. So a good half an hour later, I would say, I think this soap paste is at last ready to go on the heat. We've been stirring it for short bursts over kind of half hour, and as you can see, it's thick, it's shiny, it's glossy, perfect consistency. Pop that onto the heat and just get it melting. So we've now got our lovely thick gungy paste. All we need to do now is dilute it. I'm going to cover it with cold water, but you could quite happily add hot water at this stage. And that needs to go back onto the cooker to soften, because if we look at it, it's like trying to stir chewing gum into water. We move the paste around, but we need to soften it so that it dissolves into the water. Make sure we don't waste any. Lid on. And just over a gentle heat for a couple of hours. And then I would leave it for another 12 hours just sitting in the hot water or sitting in warm water so that it softens into soap. My soap paste has dissolved in my water. So I've taken out 300 millilitres and popped it in this jug here. And now I can add a few other ingredients to make my liquid soap into a lovely herbal shampoo. I'm going to add 2 other ingredients. One is panthenol, which is a vitamin B5. And what that does is give me a healthy, shiny hair. And I'm also putting in oat protein, which will make my hair nice and soft. This is slightly on the thin side, but I could thicken it up using a xanthan gum. Now the shampoo is ready to use straight away, but I always think it matures nicely. But here's my lovely bottle of natural herbal shampoo.